Hey everybody, welcome back to the second part here of Once Upon a Game, where we're playing the Hobbs's, aka Lesson 3 games, a game of Downfall, my favorite RPG from 2016. Downfall is available on their website, lesson3.com, games.com, as well as just follow Paint Puddles on Twitter and get all their awesome stuff. So yeah, we are now playing the game. And the way this game works is very easy. We are now going to slowly destroy the world in the form of scenes, okay? So, one of us needs to be the hero, one of us needs to be the pillar, and one of us needs to be the fallen. Who wants to volunteer to be the first one for the first round? Any of these want to be, who wants to be Recruit Dash, who wants to be Lady Weaver, and who wants to be Judge Resolute? If it's confusing, I will step up and I will just pick one for me, and then you guys can fight for the other ones if that helps. Don't be nice. Play the thing that you want right now. Be decisive.
I want to be Dash.
All right.
All right.
Done. I'm Lady Weaver. Suck it.
All right. I guess I am Judge Resolute.
Yeah. See, easy. as soon as you say that, like, that's side note. That is my biggest problem, I think, with Fall of Magic, is facilitators not saying that exactly what I just said. Is like, be aggressive, like push
Be
that
who
game.
you want to be.
Yeah, and
And
do these things. Make the scene that you want to do.
Yeah.
Don't ask, hey mother, may I take this scene and do this scene here? Like, no, just put yourself up on that. Hey,
Have
Blue
you
Lights
ever heard
Peasy.
the Be Aggressive song, Eric?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite song. The baby.
Yeah,
Maybe-
just
yeah.
play that right
Yeah.
before you play Fall of Magic every time. That's what I do every time it's time to be a GM. We just play that song.
Oh my god. I used to I hear the song in my head. I used to know most of the lyrics. I was like, oh my god.
It's okay.
The ways
title.
paved with knaves who were born to be slain. So if you come and better run for those hills. Listen up now.
So good.
Yeah, I love that song. It's
right.
Baby Cakes. Anyways, hey Blue Light.
Yeah.
Hey, we were playing a game called Downfall by Carolyn Hobbs and Mark Hobbs, Lesson 3 Games.
All right.
It is a really fun game about building a society and then watching it be torn down because it has a fatal flaw. And so we just chose our characters here. You haven't missed anything. We're getting ready to begin. We just did all of this setup. We're basically in a steampunk world that's set on a bridge between these two mountains, and we send out kids between ages 20 to 30. We conscript them to be miners, and they mine this material that allows children to be born with gemstones in their head. So, your classic fantasy. Standard, very, very, very standard Vance fantasy. Anyways,
Come on,
yeah.
darling, eat your carbon so your baby can grow big and strong.
Okay. So I am the pillar. I get to decide for this first scene what tradition is being corrupted by the flaw. And so this means I get to pick one of those 6 traditions that we have, and I'm going to be changing one of them. So, Blue, I know you just turned in late, so I'll just do a quick little recap of all the different things here. So, one of the big traditions we have is fashion. It's impolite to wear the same clothes more than once, and so what you do is in order for the society to really judge you and make sure you're actually wearing different clothes, is that you have a gemstone in your head, and you can only wear clothes of that color. So it's easier to tell when people are borrowing clothes and swapping stuff. Also, our stuff is very materialistic and imperialistic. So we have children who have to be conscripted into this, what's called the snow divers, who go dive and mine this material out for these gemstones, as well as have a very strong military who fights other bridge cities in order to get tribute from them. Also, we're just obsessed with law and order, and so we constantly make up new laws. We are poly... and as far as our loves go, and we get tattoos of the gemstones of the people that we love. And then lastly, we are all about this game called Hatari, which is basically poker, and you play with the cards. You don't play with cards, you play with literal money as your cards. So it's like a pay to win thing, which is still, I love that. I love that very much. Anyway, so I'm picking one of these things to corrupt, and I'm going to pick something near and dear to me. I'm going to corrupt our entertainment. And here's what changes when I say something corrupts, right? The society It's actually both part of the justice and entertainment. A new law has come out for ordinance. You cannot play Hatari with any bills less than $5, which is a big deal because like a lot of people just pay for like penny stats and stuff like that. And now everyone's like, no, now you can only do it like bigger bills, and it's a problem for people. Also, it's sort of like, you know, this culture of ours of Hatari is you know, it's morally degenerate when we have a war going on, right?
Nice.
These people need to pick up themselves and join the military rather than sitting around playing cards. So we're going to outlaw the $5. I imagine like the council, all like big wigs wearing fancy suits, smoking cigars, saying this, right? And then we see the hammer come down, the gavel come down, and then we see the paperwork being sent out. Everyone's like really pissed and rioty, like near rioty, being like, "What? Okay, this sucks." And I think that's sort of where we will begin. So the hero, the way the first scene, you get to frame this scene. What's going to happen is you're going to frame a scene, and then the Fallen is going to frame a scene about the hero. The hero is then going to reflect how they feel about the Haven, and then we rotate our characters. Okay?
When you say frame the scene, who is in the scene?
So the hero has to be in every scene. Okay?
Am I just narrating things?
No, we can.
Roleplay?
It's roleplay, and just because we have the Pillar and Fallen here, we can also make up other characters to play with. That's totally cool, right? And so just think of things when we're framing a scene, like where's the hero, like where's the scene taking place, who's with them, and what's going on right now, right? And I've already corrupted this first tradition to like, it's supposed to kind of like push the game forward, like, oh, here's a conflict, but you could also you could totally do something different, right? It's totally up to you. So Xandred, something to consider when you are also playing the Fallen, and even if you're not in the scene, you can do things that you can create consequences for the hero. At any time a hero does something, you can say, but there is a consequence, and then narrate the twist, the unforeseen problem that the hero's actions result in, right? Being like, oh, well, he's super strong, and oh, he writes to the paper anonymously and gets all of the, you know, like decrying this, and people are rallying to his side, right? And then you could be like, Fallen, but there's a consequence. Someone knows it was him, right? And then he gets a ransom letter, being like, I know you are, pay or extortion, right? Like something like that, right? Like, I don't know. But anyways, like that's what you can do. Like you can put consequences in when people are succeeding too much or whenever. Okay?
Gotcha.
And don't worry, like the first scene's always a little janky. It's just part of playing story games and playing in this. You know, we're putting on new clothes. We're trying new clothes on. It's going to take a little bit to be comfortable. That's totally fine. It's completely normal. No pressure. All right.
All right.
Yep, we're just in the type of place where you're always trying on new clothes.
Yeah, exactly. So you got it. Cool. So, Golden, you frame the first scene because you're the hero.
Yeah, sure. So Judge Resolute is sitting in his ivory tower alone, overlooking the vast snowfields that float through the sky. But he's not going to be alone for long because he has lunch with his son, Recruit Dash. And also we see Lady Weaver's airship floating towards the tower, who obviously intends to make a dramatic entrance at some point. So Judge Resolute has been considering the new laws and the change in Hatari. And he decided that the only way that this makes sense is if we remove all the $1 cards from circulation. So we're going to take everybody's $1 cards away. We're going to give them $5 cards. If they have less, we'll give them credit. And he's just made this public. He's just sent out the daily ordinance papers with this update. And now he's waiting in his tower for lunch.
Well, of course, there's a consequence to just taking away people's $1 bills. Like, there are people, for those that can't afford, for those that like only have the $1 bills because they happen to be poor, they won't be able to afford to eat.
Right.
And so they're going to blame you.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, there'll be some other dramatic entrances later on, I suppose.
Sure.
Cool.
So yeah, we're supposed to meet for lunch in my ivory tower, And obviously, I've bought food with $5 bills because that's the law now.
So okay, cool. So I think Lady comes like we hear the sounds of it being docked, right? Because I'm coming in this scene, right?
Yeah.
Can you say I was floating around?
Yeah, like I'm not expecting you, but you're going to make a dramatic entrance.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I obviously I the door gets like kicked open and I come in and I'm infuriated by this because this is going to cut my bottom line. So
Right.
I don't care about the tradition and more about my own money, right? And being like, this is unbelievable. Resolute, can you believe this? You know people, can't you do something about this?
Judge Resolute says, "Oh, Lady Weaver, I hadn't expected you. Fortunately, there's only 2 bowls of ramen that I have ordered. Let me order a third."
Dispense with the pleasantries. I already ate. Fix this. This is insane. You know what? This cries havoc on my profits for this quarter.
Well, if they are no longer allowed to play with $1 bills, I don't see what use they have in circulation anymore.
Do you know?
You do know that
I totally go see.
this,
Yeah. What's up?
this bowl of ramen that I'm eating right here, like, there are people who can't afford this anymore because you've taken their bills away from them.
Oh, this is only the first step. Soon we'll be giving bowls of ramen to everybody that needs one. For no charge at all.
Well, you can start with this bowl then.
I'm not going to charge my own son to eat. There, enjoy.
I'm not hungry anymore.
The bowl of ramen towards you. Look, it even has your favorite little swirly thing in there.
Yeah, I audibly laughed when you said by the way when you said like things will be free. I'd be like, that'll be the day.
I would have thought
you realized that I'm not hungry anymore, and it pushes the bowl back across the table.
Is the upcoming time working for the snow divers on your mind?
It is.
I understand how they could take your attitude away, your appetite away.
The snow divers are always on my mind after all. Soon I'll be turning 20 and going out there and seeing the world for what it really is.
Yes.
With eyes unclouded by anything, just you and the wild yonder. I embrace. I put my arm around you, right, and and say, I flew out all this way, back to Daraha. Normally, and by this point, I'm down in Bridgetown, but I couldn't resist seeing my son and all grown up, getting ready to be a deep diver, just like his old man. I grab your cheeks, right? Like, oh, my little son growing up. Oh, you grow up so fast. And I get really this is a jab at you, right? Going right at Resolute. And I say,
yeah, Judge Resolute is
didn't he, Dash? Didn't he grow up so fast?
Also, I think like Dash picks up on the fact that this is a jab at Resolute, and so he's like all for it.
Yeah.
He's just like frowning in like a stately way, like and he says, look at it this way. Well, son, when you go snow diving, make sure not to pick up any emeralds. I spoke with the other justices. We've all, because those are the ones on the $1 bills.
Well,
No,
I mean, emeralds are still edible for people.
Yeah. And honey, just know, emeralds still have value, whether or not they're on the dollars or not. And I boop your nose.
I suppose. And just like sound really exasperated.
Yeah. Your father sits behind a desk all day. complaining about his leg as he writes legislation that ruins everything, ruins people, honest working folks' profit margins. But he wouldn't know, like I know, how things work in this city.
It's not my laws that challenge people. What challenges people is their own greed, their own desire to have more and more and more. Maybe it's time that they stop striving for more. Maybe it's time that we told them what they can have.
I literally, why the whole time you were doing that, I am puppeting your verbatim that thing because you've said that so many times before, right?
Right.
And I say,
And
listen,
there's like an audible scoff from Dash.
yeah, and I say, listen, honey, I didn't want to come over here all this way for nothing. Of course, you're getting something out of this. And I hand you a I unclip it from my belt and I hand you my saber. It's your mom's saber, and it's like, she served me very well. Her name is the Wicked Sister. And I want you to have it. It's gonna be dangerous out there in the snow dunes. So
All right.
protect
In case
yourself
you get-
and
well,
make sure it comes
so
back
am
to
I
me.
So, am I allowed to introduce consequences for what you do as well?
Sure. What is it?
Because by giving me the sword, you have just implied that he could possibly be attacked while he's he could possibly be attacked by some of the raiders.
Oh,
while he
totally.
is out mining.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I would say is that rather than say that is but there is a consequence for that,
Or-
right? Just save it and just do it in the next scene. Like, okay, so the next scene is we're out in the field and we're getting attacked by raiders, right? Just
Yeah.
you can totally foreshadow and that's okay without it being explicit.
I mean,
But yeah,
and the
I get what you're
scene
saying.
You
right there.
gave him the sword, and now he is going to be attacked by raiders.
Yeah, and I totally tell you, be safe out there, and when you're done, come find me because your old mommy Weaver and the gambling barge. I have to come up with a name for it, but that's fine right now, right? And then this old bag of wood. Well, you can always find home. You can always have a spot there. We always need people working it, and you know. Look, and he just says, and I get down like really close to you, and I whisper to you, but I think Resolute could still probably hear it and say like, I just don't want you to turn out like your dad. and then I kiss you and I go back to my ship. All right, I got some business to take care of. I wish I could stay. And I run off.
I think I say to Recruit Dash when she leaves, is like, at least you have two parents that love you, son. We'll take care of you no matter what you decide in the end.
Right. Two parents that love me.
That's the name of the chapter. That's the chapter. Chapter 1.
All right.
Two parents that love you.
End scene.
Yeah. Cool. Xandred, it's your turn as the Fallen. You frame a scene about the hero.
All right then.
So it has to have the hero in it. Every scene in this game has the hero in it. And remember, just think about
And-
where is the hero, who's with them, and what's the situation.
And
Things can happen off camera.
am I flipping one of these cards as well, or not?
Not yet. No.
All right then.
The
So, I think the scene that the hero will be having, I think that there'll be like, and it's some sort of, someone else will be coming into the scene. Some new person probably has like a Morganite as their gem, and she's coming to tell him about the increase in raider activity.
okay. Yeah. Ooh, I like a Morganite. Oh, that's pretty.
She needs
It's like a tourmaline.
she needs resources in order to deal with the new the raiders coming in.
Totally. Let's come up with a name for her. And so she's coming to the judge. She's coming to Resolute. requesting
Mhm.
resources stuff. Okay, cool. Do you think this person is a pillar or a fallen? So like, do you think you would roleplay them, or would I?
You are one of the many ordinary people. I think she's a pillar.
Okay, cool. I'll just write the name up here. So she's not a recruit. So like she'd be a diver, like an actual diver. So her name would be Diver, Juliet.
Sure.
Cool. And like you said, there's a Morganite gem.
So I know that it's required for the men to go out between the age of 20 and 30, but I think women can like decide if they want to.
Yeah.
So she's one of the people who has decided she wanted to be a diver.
Yeah, for council and country, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, totally. I totally do this. Just as you said, Xandrid, I show up to the judges. What is it? Is it a palace? Is it like a palace of paper?
So
Like,
far, it's been
what's
the
it called?
Ivory Tower.
Yeah, the ivory
That's
tower.
where I work. I think I work at the Ivory
Yeah.
Tower.
Okay, yeah, so it's an ivory tower, right? So I take up the stairs to the ivory tower. Not too far because you're not that important.
I think the
And,
judge actually lives in a barge that attaches to the tower,
Okay.
like a
So,
floating skyship.
also, are the judges'
It looks like a
robes?
houseboat.
What was that, Xandrid?
I was going to say, also, are the judges' robes white as snow?
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, so driver Juliet makes their way up to your barge where you work, right? The like basically
Sure.
like a what do you call it? Like the things that you put in a school when it's overcrowded, a portable.
Oh, I thought this was my house. No, she's coming to my work. Yeah, I'm in the Ivory Tower then.
Yeah, because I'm like on official business requesting stuff for.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I'm just in the Ivory Tower. I thought you were coming to my home after hours for some reason. Yeah.
I don't
Alright,
like you
so
that
yeah.
much.
Good.
Yeah.
So you just under this like large, like empty cavernous room, and like this throne with a large desk in front of it.
Also, can I expand my thought here?
Totally. What's up?
They need more resources because the $1 bill has been outlawed.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the change from the $1 bill has made it so they've lost money in the exchange.
Yeah, totally. So I come in there furious.
Of course.
So I come up to you, thinking that you're like responsible for it, right?
Which I am.
Yeah. And so I come up and say, Judge, how can this be?
Like, what's wrong, Diver? Didn't you get the appropriate credit for your account?
Credit? No. We got nothing.
No.
All except
were
for this,
supposed
and I pulled up the ordinance papers, being like, the ones have been outlawed.
Oh, if you read section 34B, you'll see that you're allowed to exchange your $1 cards for $5 cards at your local money changer, and then we will be compensating the money changer ourselves.
This doesn't solve the problem, Judge.
What's the problem?
All this has done is caused a run on supplies. I cannot afford anything anymore. What used to cost $1 now costs $6.
Well, it's not possible.
Song is
There's no $6 cards.
What used to cost $1 now costs $5.
Yeah. No, that costs 10, is what she would say. Right? Because
Okay,
of
yeah.
inflation.
Right. It's like,
Oh.
well, do not worry. The markets will stabilize in time.
In time, we have a fresh new set of recruits going out who are undersupplied, and there's been increasing reports of raiders in the snow dunes. How can you be so blasé about this, Judge? Do you not
Let me,
care for our country?
Oh, of course I care. But let me see. What exactly supplies do our new recruits require?
Equipment, rope, mining materials, the whole gamut.
You
It
can
is
afford
all-
none of this now?
No, all you have done is made things more expensive with this frivolous decree.
Oh, that can't be right.
Maybe if you would leave your office, you would see. what's going on in the streets below. You could see what the other hand is doing.
Because I'm quite busy, I have to rely on the official news sources to make these kinds of decisions.
Well, your kinds of decisions are going to cost innocent soldiers, or I meant divers. Innocent divers, their lives.
I can see you're very dedicated
also,
to this diver, Juliet. If you can bring me a itemized list of what our divers need, I'll see to it pass legislation that ensures that they have all the resources they require to do their jobs.
You wound me with these words, and I pull out a scroll from like behind me, and I say, "You think I would come unarmed to an arbitration problem or conflict?" and I produce an itemized list of things and
Fantastic.
say, "Your son, Dash, isn't he getting ready to go out to the dunes soon?"
Yes. And I look over the list, and everything seems to be in order, of course, because I think Diver Juliet is quite capable. And I immediately begin writing legislation to appropriate the funds necessary for these items.
but there's a consequence. These funds got to come from somewhere.
Of course, they come from the military budget.
Aha! Cool. Done. I think, and I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I got the stuff for the recruits.
Great.
Right? Is that scene?
Yeah.
Cool. That's scene. So now we do a hero's reflection. Hero, you describe how you feel about the current state of the Haven.
I think Judge Resolute is very pleased. People have less things. They're able to acquire less things. And these are making them think more carefully about what they actually need.
Okay. Cool. So now we will be switching characters. And the way this works is that... so you are the judge. So you are the hero. And then technically... your fallen is on your right, and I am on your left. Okay. So now then we rotate. We rotate our characters to the right. So that means Xandred, you are now the hero.
Nice.
I'm on your left, so I am recruit Dash. And then Golden, you are the pillar.
Okay.
Okay, so that's right. All right. Just as a reminder, so then... Right, so Xandred, you're the hero, I am the fallen, and Golden, now you are the pillar. So, now what's going to happen is the pillar. You get to describe a tradition being corrupted by the flaw. So you go back up to Daraha's different things, and you get to choose one of them.
Okay. I think we're going to corrupt the military. The military is no longer just warring with other bridge cities, but also warring internally and seizing assets inside the city.
Oh.
You take their budget, and now they take it back.
Yeah. We have a war to win. We nationalize this, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Totally. Cool. All right. So, our hero gets to create the first scene.
Do I?
Yep.
Well, I think that a scene... Jeez, I was not prepared. I think that this scene is like, someone is coming to tell me about what the military's doing. I think it's actually going to be Dash.
I give you a report. So, is this the first time you've seen me since I got back?
I don't think it's a formal report. Actually.
Oh, it's this steampunk techno. This is terrifying. Is this why I don't like music on streams? Because there's like nothing ever that's the right...
Yeah, it's rough.
I think this is like going to be our last lunch together before you go out.
Oh. Okay. Okay. And I'm giving them the bad news about the military?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like we've had some heated arguments before this, Judge, as you've been trying to dissuade me, and I've been upset with you. And so I come into this a little bit bittersweet, right? I'm a little bit distant, like we just got over an argument, and I'm doing this in a formal way. And I say, hello, Dad.
Hello, son. Come, sit down and eat.
So I think your butler has put the food on the table, and the noodles are actually cold. In the ramen.
And I,
There's
yeah,
Wait,
Go ahead.
come sit down and eat. There's something wrong with this.
yeah, it's cold.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We haven't been able to afford running the heaters at full blast, and the elevators are running at 1/4 speed with the reduction of steam pressure.
Reduction
Another-
of pressure.
And I looked at Dad and I say, you know, another military ration. I look at you being like, you're the cause of it.
Why would the military do something like this?
Well, it's our military. It's the Darahan Royal Guard. Of course they would do something like this. Or what, lose? It's impossible.
Well, I expected the military to have some standards, at least.
I take
What does that
offense to that. I've been planning on joining the military after my 10 years of service.
You know, having a face like you inside the military would probably be a good thing, seeing as though they've certainly fallen down in recent times.
Well, yes, that's why they're rationing, to get that morale that they really need. And it's important for us to tighten our belts and give up what we can so they can do what they can. I just vomit forth propaganda, right?
This whole... I need to speak with one of the leaders of the military. Sounds
No.
though they've
Why?
gone corrupt.
If you
the
speak up
actions?
like that, you'll ruin my chances of becoming an officer. You can't do that.
How would me speaking to the military ruin your chances?
You know what? You could be flagged as a dissident. And then, of course, that would transfer to me. No son of a dissident has any chance of becoming any prominent officer.
Son,
You can't. Dad, do not ruin... You may have ruined your chances of anything hurting your leg, but don't ruin it for your son. Don't ruin it for me.
son, there are things that must be done. We can't let the actions of the military go unpunished in a way like this. It's
I can't
frankly
believe you're
immoral
saying
against
this.
people.
At the expense of your own son? And my future? Here in Daraha? I have... What can I do? Become a clerk like you?
That would be good.
I can't
Of
believe
course,
you're
I wouldn't
saying
want
this.
to force you in such a position, but there are things that must be done to protect our people.
I can't take any more of this. And I get up and I leave, and before I slam the door, I turn around and say to you, Mom was right about you. You are a coward. And I leave. I storm out, and that's the last time you get to see me before I go out on military. Do you say anything as I'm leaving? Or is it just kind of stunned silence?
I don't think he says anything to you as you're leaving.
Sure.
I think it's like you just go and then he goes, I'm sure he'll see soon enough. Now then, get me rid. Now then, send someone for me to speak to and form this up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. I think it's a scene. Here's a scene for the. I'm gonna set the scene as the fallen. It's kind of like there is a consequence to it. Obviously, you get the message that Dash is missing, and I feel like you are. Where would the hero be? Not at your office.
I think it was talked before about how he does not leave the ivory tower, except for when he's going home.
Yeah, but I feel like this is a break of that tradition because your son's missing, and so I feel like you need to talk to somebody. Like you have to go talk to some other bureaucrats or something about it, and being like, and you want to know the whereabouts of your son. Like they're not telling you the whole story. So I think you are in the Palace of Defense, which is the Pentagon of the place, and you are seeing a general, right? And you're basically a leader of the divers. Or no, you're seeing Diver Juliet, who's like who's actually like a more like a quartermaster or like administrator person, and not necessarily a diver. That's why they were requesting that stuff.
Sure.
And like they're like they're behind the desk and stuff. They're a logistics person. So you're talking to them about like what can you do for help? Okay.
Also, questioning like his
Yeah.
disappearance. Like I know people go off into the snow dunes to like do their mining and stuff, but his disappearance is like unaccounted for, right?
Yeah, like he didn't return from his mining patrol or whatever. So it's unknown if he's okay or not.
Also, going to speak, is Juliet the same person that I had spoken to her before?
No, I'm playing Juliet.
Yeah, but it is the same person, yes.
But yes.
All right then. Yes, Juliet, I believe. I mean, Diver Juliet, I believe.
Correct, Your Honor.
I think you know why I've graced you with my presence today.
Yes, I was checking the reports. I'm sorry about your loss, Judge. But there's nothing I can do about it. If only you had provided the resources you promised.
I'm sure that there's something you can do.
That I can do?
It's just that you...
With these resources?
A problem of the military, of course. Lacking motivation.
Motivation? I have my best men looking for your son. It's not their fault that they don't have the tracking sonar I requested.
Well, then you do know that if we were to get you these resources, we'd be taking them away from others.
Yes, but I would think your son's life would be worth it.
What is it you need?
I need a tracking soldier. I need beacons for all divers. I need the right to arm my men, arm my divers and my recruits to protect them.
All right, and cutting to the chase, how much is all of this going to cost?
50,000 chips.
50,000.
There are hundreds of divers, sir, and you may not be aware, but the military retook most of our supplies. We are barely able to provide iron rations for our divers at this point while they're in the field.
And do you expect me to pull these resources out of the sky?
If you must, you are a judge. Is that not where your laws come from? Maybe also you can bring food from the sky as well.
Maybe you're not the right person. I mean, maybe I'm just talking to the wrong person then.
Maybe, but it's going to take time, and your son does not have time. I'm not wasting your time. Please don't waste mine.
But here's the thing. You are wasting my time. I'm here standing in front of you while my son is missing. I could be standing in front of someone else right now.
And
Someone
they don't
could
have access
give
to
me
the
results.
laws, and they don't have access to the personnel that they need to find him. There's only 15 divers left with wireless communication devices. 15 people who I can communicate with in the field. Clock is ticking, Judge Resolute.
God, and there's like a tick in the background. All right, then it's time to write time to write up a tax.
All right.
The law of tax. Also, I want to get that lady out of her position and someone else into it.
Sure. I mean, I can't do anything about that. These are things you do.
Yes.
But I get the. You write into law and you give me the orders and everything.
I give you the resources that you need by taking taxes.
All right. The taxes take time to collect, right?
Yeah, totally. And so obviously, to pick up on that is you have to increase. There's a consequence to that, right? And the consequence of that is that I think people are. I think the government will be writing more ordinances, right? And more people are getting arrested because they're not following all the proper ordinances, and they're getting fined, right?
Oh, that's the best way of getting tax.
All right, so I guess like a week later, I have the resources I need to mount a proper search for your son.
Yeah, right. And you so like you probably cut to that, right? Or is it seen?
I mean, for me, I'm just playing the character, so for me, it's sing.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got what you want. Cool. Awesome. So it's the hero's reflection. The hero describes how they feel about the current state of the haven. Right. So, Judge, Xandrid, how do you think? How do you feel about the haven?
I feel like the military is screwing us over.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Okay, cool. Now everyone, we rotate our characters again.
All right.
So now I'm the judge. I think Golden, you are now the fallen, and
I'm the fallen.
Xandrid, you are the pillar. So, Xandrid, go ahead and look at the traditions again, right? The 6 traditions, and now corrupt one of them. And so what I mean by corrupt is that you are exacerbating one of those traditions to be worse now.
Making one of these worse.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple junctions hold. I think that
Yeah. One of the traditions is becoming harmful is another way of thinking about. That's what the books explicitly calls it as. One of the traditions is being harmful. So what is? Yeah.
I think Dash isn't the only one disappearing. I mean, isn't the only one of the snow divers disappearing. So I will
Totally.
be corrupting the government, and
Mm.
they need to start dipping into younger ages in order to fill these positions.
Ooh,
Yeah. Oh man, we're losing, and we have to send more younger kids out. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, this place sucks.
Or
Awesome.
or also reaching into like people whose terms are about to be over. They're just like, you might need to stay a little longer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The bracket is just widening on both ends.
Yeah, they're not letting people age out, and they're also recruiting younger. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. All right. So then I need to frame a scene about me, and this is after they found you the first time. So this is actually in the hospital. And you're like almost ready to be released to get back into duty, and it's the middle of the night, and you're laying in your hospital, your ward. Everyone else is asleep. You hear the door creak open, and you see someone wearing a doctor's uniform. But they are hobbling like your dad, and they without saying anything to you, they kick the things that keep your dolly, your bed, like from moving. They kick that out, and then they get behind and start pushing you and your little drop IV
Sure.
drop thing out of it, right? And I start wheeling you out of this place. And that's where we begin.
So I think Dash is the one you're wheeling out, right? I think Dash is like,
Yo, yeah, I'm totally. Yeah, so I realized I don't think I said that.
think
I
you
said
did,
you a
but
couple of times, but yeah,
I'm
totally.
a little bit scatterbrained, so
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm totally grabbing Dash out of here.
and I think Dash is awake enough to respond to this.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think he says, "What, Dad? Stop! Help!"
Shh, it's okay. That's all I say. And I like nod at some people. Like there's like a nurse who goes by, and I go like, it's okay. He's and I make up some fast medical mumbo jumbo, being like, his drop rates are under 40. Don't worry about him, right?
Just remember,
Wait, stop!
and-
You're
and-
already,
the
like,
fallen,
Yeah.
you make the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I want to see where he's going with this. So like, I say, wait, stop! And but the nurse has already walked out of earshot by then, like going around the corner. We're just rolling down this empty hall.
Yeah, and I'm slowly getting you closer to the door for the hospital, and I'm saying, I can't let you go back into service, son.
You can't take me away. I haven't recovered yet.
I waited as long as I could. This is the right time. I love you, and more than you'll ever know. And
Where are you taking me?
away from here.
Father, you have to tell me where you're taking me.
It's for your protection right now that I cannot tell you that, son. Just trust me.
No,
Your days of being a snow diver are over.
I try and like grab the we pass by the shelf and I grab one side of it.
Yeah.
And if you push more, then it's just going to fall down and make a loud noise.
Yeah. I yank your arm off of it, and keep going like, son, you don't understand. Save your strength.
So I think when you yank his arm off, the consequence is like you break his prosthetic arm, and there's like bits and pieces of gears and everything laying all over the floor.
Ugh, I can fix that. We have to go.
My hand, no! And he starts screaming in pain.
Damn it. Son. You've only been a diver for a short time, and look what's it's cost you. You cannot be I cannot allow you to go out for that longer. It is insane. I won't. I've
trying to
lost
beat
too much.
yourself up
I've
there.
lost too many friends already. Oh, Laurelania. Hey, Laurelania. Thanks for the host. Hi, everybody. We're playing this. Sorry, it's a super dramatic scene right now. My son was injured on a conscription mandatory campaign into the snow dunes and tagged by raiders, and I'm breaking him out of the hospital so he never has to go again. So, hey, perfect timing. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, so sorry.
Richard Dash is just like screaming in pain. Like, you can't reason with him.
Yeah.
He's no longer able to talk and make sense.
Yeah, I feel like the calamity of like you grabbing that bookshelf and like me having to break your prosthetic arm, or whatever, has probably got some people's attention. And once again, I try to fast talk them, being like his drop rates are under 40 and 30. It's delusional. It already ate through his prosthetic part, and I have to go down to the warehouse to get him a new one. All right, yeah, take care, Laura.
Doctor?
Guys, Laurelania is amazing. If you're not already following her, she does amazing stuff. I'd love to tune in and watch her do a bunch of campaign prep for stuff. And sorry, I know I'm trying to be more to people, especially amazing people like Laurelania who give me amazing follows and stuff like that, talking and interrupting a game. But I'll minimize that as much as I can. All right, sorry. Continue.
I'm sorry, Doctor, who are you exactly?
Oh, Dr. No Weaver. And I just give my mom or wife's name and just keep going. Like I don't stop and like I don't have credentials. And so I don't stop. I just pretend to look really important and like
Dr.
Okay.
Weaver.
Yeah.
And then someone else says, I don't think we have a doctor that's a Malachite.
Ooh, rough.
And I look over and I fast talk again and I say, I'm military. Yeah. And I just say, I look to them and say, call it a field promotion. And I keep going. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to take you out of the hospital, and I have a carriage waiting for you to take you out of here. Basically, I'm kidnapping my own son, so he doesn't have to work again.
All right,
That's
yeah,
a
but as a
snowdiver.
consequence, I think your son is going to go into a coma.
That makes sense. I can fix that though.
All
I
right.
think I can. I'll worry about that later. But I think that's scene.
All right. Can I give you another consequence?
Totally.
Actually, no.
What's up?
I'll just
make the scene.
I'll just set the scene. Like, you feel like you have to apologize to Lady Weaver for the condition your son is in. So you are traveling on your little houseboat to her giant sky gambling ship.
Well,
Has
if there's
she, like,
yeah. Well, if there's someone who can help her. Yeah.
Has she visited the hospital and knows that he was no longer there anymore?
Oh, absolutely. Like, she probably got instantly telegraphed as soon as they realized he was gone.
It makes sense.
But there's someone there to help. What did you say before?
Who?
Is someone there to help Lady Weaver or me, man? What's up?
Why would there be someone there to help? Am I missing something?
I think we're all missing something here.
Yeah, what do you I feel like there's a crucial detail you didn't explain to us. What is the scenario where someone's here to help?
No one's here to help. You're there because you feel like you need to apologize.
Yeah. Okay.
Why would someone need to be there to help?
Yeah, so just
I don't think there is. I think it's just us.
all
Yeah,
right, so
then.
it's just us. And
Yeah, so I come up to you and I say, "Look, lady, we don't have any more time. Dash is hurt.
Yes,
I
he
need you.
is.
I need you to do some favors. I need to
He's
call in some
hurt.
favors.
and he was supposed to be healing up in a hospital.
That's immaterial.
You're dooming our son.
I'm saving our son.
You're dooming my son.
Can you cut that out for just one time, lady?
You need to take him back and own up for what you've done.
I will do no such thing. Are you insane? This
Are
is our
you-
son. Do you not love our son? You
Are
hold
you
those 10 years over me. You hold them over me, and you judge me for what I had to do for this country. You like I haven't sacrificed enough. And I look to my leg, right? And I look back to you, and I say, "This
Are
is
you
our
going to-
son. I've only seen him for 10 years, and I'll be damned if that's the only 10 that we'll ever see of him."
You talk about the sacrifices that you have made. Will he become one of them?
No. That's why I need your help. But he will if you don't help us.
Take him back.
I'm afraid he's falling into a coma. Come on, you have to have something. You have to have some favors. Do you know any dog leeches? Like street doctors, right?
I can call someone that can help him.
Would you? Do it. Please. I beg of you.
Where is he?
I don't know where I'm keeping you, but like I say, some apartment, right? Some place, right? What the important part is that I'm being honest wherever the safe house is, right? I need to trust you just this once, please, for the love of our son. If he goes back, he's going to die. You and I both know that.
Is that actually true, though?
No, but like that's what I believe, right?
All right, then. So,
That's what I firmly believe. Like
right.
that being a snow diver takes everything from you. So absolutely, I'm like, fuck that.
So you're telling me that if I go here, I'll find him?
Yes. I nod. I nod very grimly. Like yes. I whisper.
That's all the information that I need, then.
Yeah. I think that's probably seen.
I wanted to spring a trap on you.
Well, yeah, that's a consequence. Well, like the fallen frames the next scene, so I feel like I was just gonna let you do that for the next
this
scene,
was
right?
This was the scene I framed. So I think as a
shit.
consequence
Oh,
of this
okay.
scene,
No.
like-
I'm sorry. I forgot that was true. I'm sorry, Xandra. You should totally just say what you want to say. I forgot that. I thought we had another scene. I'm so sorry. Like we will obviously have another scene, but like before we switch up everything, what was it? What was the thing you wanted to add?
I'm not entirely sure what the next thing would be, other than like shooting you with a tranquilizer.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
you-
And I
you've
turn around and then we hear the twang of a crossbow and I fall over. For sure.
oh really? Wow.
Right? That sounds awesome.
Or the camera, like, it's like you weren't even looking at her at the time. You were heading out the door, and then she's just like, "That's all the information I need." You see her loaded, and she.
Yeah, exactly. And we just see me fall over, and we just and as she fall as Judge Resolute falls over, we see in the back we see her holding a crossbow. Totally. And yeah, and then we keep going. For absolutely fucking positively awesome. You're right. That was great.
I think that's enough consequence, honestly.
Yeah, and now we rotate, but first we rotate, and then after we rotate, I think I become the pillar now.
Before you rotate, we get the hero's reflection.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the hero's reflection. How do they feel about the current state of the Haven? Bunch of fucking dentist snakes who don't care about anything but themselves and not their family.
Cool.
That's how I feel about it. Also, that fucking poison hurts. Cool. Now we rotate characters. So I become the pillar, and it's just like how we started
What
scenes,
truly
right?
hurts, though.
Yeah. So, Xandra, now you're Dash again. Golden, you're judge, and I am Lady Weaver again. So as a pillar, I corrupt the tradition once more. Oh, by the way, I should mention this. How this game ends, we repeat this process of making scenes, rotating, and evaluating until we come up with a time where we think this is good.
Right.
Okay.
What time? Like, do we have a time limit? You want to go sleep, Eric?
I mean, like, I would like to end in the next half hour.
Sure. So maybe a couple more
Yeah,
rotations.
I just wanted to bring that up, right?
Sure.
All right.
I think I'm gonna corrupt fashion. I think as another like in order to make ends meet, renters of clothes are now charging exorbitant rates. They're price gouging people just to get by for clothes.
Okay.
And so that's like causing a lot of stress and strain. Also because we're getting less and less materials because we're losing our wars and stuff, right? So, voila.
So I think I'll frame the scene where Judge Resolute is the captive of Lady Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
What was her motivations though? I think she's trying to brainwash him using some kind of weird device. Weird steampunk brainwashing machine so that she can write laws that the community needs.
I've had thought about the stone. Like the stone is with the stone that you have in your forehead. Like obviously everyone has
Right?
an original stone. And so it can be used as some sort of like fingerprint, pseudo fingerprint.
Yeah, identifying. Yeah.
Also, it's just a direct connection to your brain.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like lightning, electricity going into the stone or something.
Yeah, totally. So you can manipulate people from the stone, and that's what I have set up, right? I have some kind of like arc thing going to your stone, and so cool. So I flip on the switch, and I have you on my barge in some like secret spot of the barge, right? And I go like, I hate to have to do this, right? And
Right.
you're waking up as I'm getting ready to do this.
Mm-hmm. What? Where am I?
Shh. It's okay.
You poisoned me.
I did what was necessary to protect my son and our family.
Is he better?
I lie and say yes.
I know it was all worth it.
It's okay. My dog leech accomplice was able to get to them. He'll be okay. I say as I'm like finishing some of the prep for what I'm going to do.
Well, you have to let me go. I have to get him out of the city.
That's where there's a problem with that. I would love to, but I'm going to need you to stay here for a little bit longer.
How much longer? People are going to realize I'm missing. I have to get back before they put the connection between me and that doctor together.
Yeah. Well then, hopefully this doesn't take too long. And I flip the switch. And
I realize
Yeah.
what's happening. I'm like, wait, stop. I'll make you a deal.
oh, I'm afraid we're too late for deals, honey.
I challenge you to a game of Hatari. If you win, I will submit to the process. If I win, you have to let me free.
Why would I ever bet against someone when I'm holding all the cards?
You know, you can't resist gambling. That's what I always loved about you.
I turn off the machine. I totally. Absolutely.
All right. All right.
That's probably seen,
Okay.
right?
That's
Because yeah,
All right, sure.
that's good. Yeah, you convinced me to do that. You're right. You played right to my right to me, right in. You know me.
Sweet.
I've forgotten what was the deal.
We're going to play Hatari for my freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to know what the terms were.
If I win, I get go free. If she wins, I submit to the brainwashing.
Yep.
Mm.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, I'm going to win. My deck is loaded. I'm a judge.
Yeah, like you're gonna get your whole deck. All right.
Cheater. The
Um,
Fallen now frames the scene.
So framing the scene, this is so this is you coming to I think you'd be coming to see Dash. Dash is back at the hospital, now secure. They don't actually know who took him. I think Weaver was able to get him back inside without anyone knowing that you're the one who stole him out.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of money trading hands about that, but
Like, she planned on brainwashing you, so she needed you to still be able to keep your power.
right.
That was her
Oh.
plan, but you won.
Oh, I won. Okay, so I got my freedom. Oh, and he probably has like double security guards and everything.
Yes. He now has security in the room with him.
Oh,
ooh.
I'll recruit a diver Dash. I've had you promoted. I'm so glad to see that you've recovered. I was so worried when I got the message. I thought, well, I'm glad I came to my senses before I did something foolish.
I think he's looking out the window, not even looking at you.
Listen, son, I know you've had your heart set on being a snow diver, but you have to consider like other options. Like the snow divers are underfunded, they're under siege by the military. They're not going to last long as an independent organization. You have to be reasonable here to pick something else to do with your life. I'll support you, but
Dad, don't you know you're not allowed to pick at my age?
well, you have to pick.
It is required that I become a snow diver.
Now, if
There's
there
no
aren't any
choice
snow divers,
involved.
well, this is. All right, well, listen. I can fix this. I'm going to.
Stop trying to fix stuff. You know what almost happened to me. He's like avoiding saying certain words because there are other people in the room
Right.
because of choices you made.
I agree. That was a mistake, but this is going to be different. This is me doing what I'm allowed to do, what I'm paid to do, what people continue to pay me to do. People wouldn't be paying me to be their judge if they didn't believe in the changes I was making for our city.
Thank you for coming to see me, Judge Resolute, but I think I've grown tired of this visit.
All right, you need to recover. I understand. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. And I think I leave, and there's a press conference where I announce that the snow divers are being absorbed into the military.
Oh, so you kind of get what you want?
Kind of.
The two have been fused together.
Awesome. Okay.
Of
All right.
course,
Well-
the consequence of that being that
Yeah.
you're no longer, you no longer make the decisions for the divers. The military does.
Yeah.
Well, I still make laws for the military, perhaps. We'll see.
Yeah, but there's like corporate tape and all of that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Your direct control has now been moved.
Yeah,
Sure.
So
you lost your
that's-
chance. Yeah. So
Oh, and now that it's a part of the military, like you don't have a choice in what your son's position will be.
Okay. All right, you get to a famous scene now. What do I do next?
That was my frame scene.
yeah, remember?
Just a consequence.
Yeah, remember I did the scene of the mind control stuff, and then the fall, and you did the right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. No.
So I know I did the exact same thing. I forgot what scene we were on because I got so engrossed that I forgot there was one before it.
Just too many
yeah.
scenes.
So Hero, Hero describes how they feel.
I think I feel like there's this big emptiness in my life, and I feel like I've lost confidence in myself, and I feel like I need something to fill this void.
Uh-huh.
But on the flip side, I have a lot of money because I won my freedom, and that came with a bunch of money.
Yes. Also, I would like to just mention the fact, like, when I called you a Judge Resolute instead of Dad.
Oh yeah, cool.
For sure. Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we have time for any more.
It feels like a pretty good.
Yeah, I
end.
feel like it's a pretty good end too.
Yeah.
So do we want to do like a vignette real quick of like how everything happens for the rest of the people for society, right? Sort of like an epilogue.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's start with the judge. What happens to the judge?
I feel like the judge has kept his power through this, and so I think people will
Really?
make him a more powerful judge than ever before.
Hmm.
Well,
I
nobody
think he's gonna
ever,
be voted out.
nobody ever said anything about that. So, unless you want to have him,
I mean, and I think that he wouldn't be able to keep that position anymore.
yeah, you think people don't like his changes?
Yeah, like you've made a bunch of terrible changes in the recent past, and normally people don't get voted out, but
You've
like,
somehow messed
the
up. Yeah.
Nah,
the
everybody
military was
changes.
just like, we're getting rid of you.
Oh, the military wants to get rid of me.
I mean, they did it. They now have more power than you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're clearly doing it in some sort of shady way.
Yeah, military coup, where they don't reward the politicians that put them in power.
So
Okay.
clearly, Diver Juliet now runs the show.
Yeah, right. I feel like they have sort of like a lock in on the other stuff for sure. Kind of like a what do you call it? It's kind of like an underground, like an underground judge, right? Like an unofficial,
They have a military tribunal now,
yeah,
a secret court.
yeah, like an inquisitor or something like that.
Yeah, cool.
Totally. What about Dash? What happens to Dash?
Oh.
Did they make it? They
He probably
die?
dies in some kind of war.
Probably dies. Probably fucking dies. Let's be real.
He fights in a war and he dies. That's what he wanted to do. I wanted to die heroically.
Yeah. Aw.
Oh.
So, all right then. Well, then that's all we got for Downfall. What do we got a couple minutes left. I want to ask, like, what do we think of the game? Was it fun? Like, did you guys have a good time making the world and watching it kind of fall and these people fail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
wish I had more.
Yeah, this is a super good game. Once again, it's from Less Than 3 Games. Let me find their website. I'll link it in chat. There it is. It's less3games.com. I was right. It is so good. This game, you can play this. Honestly, there's 2 complaints I have about this game, and they're like really nothing as far as complaints go. Number 1, my complaint is that you get such an awesome world, but it takes a little bit too long if you're playing a one-shot of it, and that you want to explore it more. But you also get this really fucking amazing world. Like straight up, it feels really fleshed out with these traditions. The tradition symbolism relating to a flaw is so good. That is so good, because it makes it so easy to tie in symbols and watch them get corrupted. It's just like free game material, like for your brain. And the second big, so that's my complaint. And then my second complaint is that it caps at 3 people. Right?
Yeah.
But no,
I just feel like a little bit disconnected, right? Like whenever they have this this list of setting elements, like it doesn't always feel like they serve a distinct purpose.
Well, that's true for all prep, right? You rely on the things that you want to. You focus on the fun.
Right. But I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. Like you can mechanize government, like you can use government in this scene or that scene to cause this kind of effect, always, and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
which I think kind of aids that, but it's very freeform. There's nothing stopping you from doing.
Exactly. All of that stuff is just aids for you so you don't have to, like, when it's your turn to make a scene, have nothing to go off of.
Oh, right.
Right. It's
I feel like
there to help us.
I think
also it's like this collapse stage.
It's
Apple. That's what we just did with the epilogue.
You
world
flip building. And the world building of this game is quite enjoyable.
I know. It's
much more in depth than the system that I used before, which is just like the scarcity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like Apocalypse World? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Choose scarcity, and it's just like move from there. It's like an expansion of that.
Yeah, no, like if I was gonna run Apocalypse World, I would literally play Downfall into Apocalypse World.
There's just something about having multiple players create each front that just makes them better, I think.
I did this. I can tell you that I took the Haven creation mechanics for a Sprawl game set on Mars, and our flaw was classism and describing that stuff. In fact, I cannibalized 2 games for the prep of that game. I cannibalized Microscope. I cannibalized Ben Robbins' palette setup creation, where you list ideas of things that you want included in the game or not included into the game. So I started with that. Then I did the Sprawl's official corp creation. And then after we did our corps and all that stuff, we went ahead and created our traditions. Because I love this tradition design. Yeah, it is in depth, but it's very fun. And you get a world that's very like, oh, cool, yeah, like these are some things you can really grab onto. And obviously we didn't do a lot with love, which is okay. It's okay if we don't actually end up focusing on certain things. It's okay. It's there for us to use if we wanted to. I'm glad you guys liked it a lot. I want to run it more. Yeah,
the love between the two falling apart.
Yeah, definitely.
I knew it was there.
Yeah,
I wanted to like say that the judge was like suddenly became romantically interested in
that
his
was
old
be
plan
next
again.
thing.
But it didn't like you jumped ahead. You jumped past that scene where that would have happened.
Yeah,
So-
you can kind of always flash back, but yeah.
Yeah.
There was that part where the judge was like trying to fill the empty void.
That's what I was implying with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, and we didn't see anything with Mecha, which is fine too. I think it was weird actually making the hero the judge rather than Dash. Maybe I don't know. I don't
Didn't
know.
really feel as
Like-
antagonistic as I expected.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're not. You're just strongly opinionated in a different way.
so, I mean, they're not really like the hero's not right and the fallen's not wrong. Which
Yeah.
is not what I expected.
Well, yeah, you're a reformer. You're just trying to change a tradition. Which was, I'm trying to make it so that my son doesn't have to participate in this super, super dangerous thing.
Yes.
Right?
I don't want my son in this thing because he's gonna die.
Yeah, and like that's very reasonable. But of course your son's being like, what are you talking about? Like, I have to do this. This is what society demands. And like it's super easy to just it's not it makes it's actually a compelling story because it's not like good and evil. It's just different ideals, different values, right?
Yeah.
You could have I like how you could play this game if you had different heroes and fallens and pillars with the same setup. You could have a completely different game.
Oh, totally.
Every game of the Downfall is so unique. It always comes down to just what's you want to interpret. It's super cool, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evenings to come out here. Xandred, like, thank you for, I know we had a player drop out at the last minute, and you were around to sign up to play with me today, and like that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you sign up for more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. You're great.
I love playing games, and I'm mostly not busy.
Yeah, for your first time playing a story game, you were amazing.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're a professional. You get it. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm Eric. I'm Eric Vulgaris on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Every Tuesday, I do this. I do Once Upon a Game, Story Game Variety Show. I have sign-up sheets on my Discord, !Discord in the chat to get a link to it. If you're ever interested in signing up and playing a game with me, no experience required. Just come on over and I'll give a little spiel about a game and you can play with us, and we're done in like 3 hours or so. So that's super fun. I also do other role-playing games. I do a long-form Burning Wheel campaign on Sundays called Burning Crowns, and I just wrapped up a super awesome 5-episode long series called Olympus Overdrive, what I was talking about earlier. Basically Fast and the Furious anime set on Mars, and it's everything you ever wanted. It's perfect. I love it so much. So yeah, that's me. Golden, what about you?
Yeah, I run 2 RPGs on Twitch. One of them I'm hosting on my channel. It's Nobilis. The players just got to participate in the ending of the Third Age. So Lord Entropy has been overthrown, and we've entered the Age of Murder. And they're trying to resurrect God before everything goes to shit. But they might not succeed. On Fridays, I run Harvest Valley over on Kelsa's channel. It's a Burning Wheel game where we're just trying to play Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon and do relationships, farm. Mostly doing adventuring though. They released the Snow Queen. I just figured out how they can deal with her by rolling Wises. So
naturally,
check out that. We'll figure out how to defeat the Snow Queen, and
yeah, awesome, cool. And Xandred, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Lord Xandred. I sometimes draw, not regularly. I also run games, but none of them are on Twitch yet. Maybe they will be in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, if you need help setting anything up.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
And buy your overlays from Eric.
No. So this, my whole community is super great. If you ever wanted to play games with people, we're really open about playing games and helping people get set up for streaming and advice and things like that. So hopefully, if you ever see you around in the Discord and need advice, we're be happy to help you out. So awesome. That's it for us tonight, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. This is Once Upon a Game, Story Game One Shot Show. We'll see you next week with, I think we're playing more Follow by Ben Robbins, which is Teamwork Makes the Dream Work, the game. So, nice. Yeah, we'll be doing that next week. So take care, everybody. Bye.